It caught my eye. Most young men are single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen faster than any demographic in America over the last 40 years.
It's a different world now. Like, we don't need men the way that they used to.
Nobody needs men!
The future is female.
Men and women are drifting further apart, and society is crumbling because of it.
A fascinating debate has broken out about the value of marriage.
You've kind of got the trad-con versus red pill thing.
This men's rights crowd that sometimes just goes too far the other way.
You need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men.
Marriage is a bond, and it's a sacred bond.
It's a machine designed to extract resources from you.
Now many of the red-pilled have taken the position that it's bad for men to get married.
Hannah Pearl Davis, or just Pearly things.
One of the most controversial faces in all of the internet.
She goes on to say that marriage is a terrible deal for men.
Because if me and you were in a business contract, you would never sign a contract where I am paid to leave.
Gee, what could go wrong there?
74% or something of divorces are initiated by women. Men have everything to lose, primarily their own children.
Men get killed by the courts and by divorce laws.
I had no idea that courts of family law were courts of equity, not courts of law.
Because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence. When you guys say get married young, a lot of these men don't know what they're signing up for, and you're not going to be there when their entire life falls apart. I interview them on the other side.
I didn't meet my son until he was 15 months old.
How much did you spend trying to get him back?
On legal fees alone was about $200,000.
Before you know it, you're homeless. You're literally just thrown out onto the street.
We absolutely reinforce bad behavior from women.
Wives are taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family is the foundation of the society.
Every problem in society comes from single mother homes.
A lot of women will just chase this negative rabbit hole of happiness, endless happiness.
Feminism's biggest failures is it lies to women. We tell women to date as many guys as possible. We tell them to put off family into marriage.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend.
Oh, freeze your eggs, have an abortion. What? You're evil.
I don't think there's anything else in life that we actually ever go into preparing to fail. Right. Like, if you have the mentality of this is going to go wrong and be pessimistic, naturally the outcome is going to be that it's going to fail anyway. Yeah. It's self-sabotage. And that's the thing, like, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
This myth that we live in an age of male privilege. Where's my male privilege?
They think, well, men have all the rights. They have all the power.
Privileged patriarchal system that we have.
Why doesn't our society care about men's rights?
I have no friends,
no wife, and no social life.
Men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns.
I've seen so many men on the brink of suicide, and they didn't do anything wrong.
How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure.
Women are helplessly dependent upon men.
The so-called deaths of despair from suicide, overdose, or alcohol, 3 times higher among men than among women.
Culture is telling men, you are no good.
You got to get your act together.
I think men have failed themselves.
What kind of a man are you? What kind of a woman are you going to attract?
If men are in trouble, so are women.
Everybody knows this is a huge problem, but nobody wants to admit it.
Every single woman at the table said they wanted a man.
500K.
500K.
200K.
300K.
200K.
Am I crazy?
Everything is really set up against you to fail as a man.
If men make less than women, women don't want to marry them.
So you know who wants more economically and emotionally viable men? Women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
I'm over it. When is it going to be my turn?
Where are we meeting the men that don't stop?
I can't keep having these same conversations.
The only simp here is you, Pearl. You simp for men.
I think you said for women.
She's a provocateur. She says stupid stuff, but Pearl is right about this.
It's already happening. It's just not out in the open yet.
Now it's just hookup culture is going to be our fairy tale ending because men don't want a wife and women can't find a husband. The future, if everybody follows your path, is there is no future.
We go into population decline, and our economy goes into decline.
Civilization will crumble.
The American story does not end well. This is an existential crisis, failing young men.
All right, what is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily. Today, we have a special guest on the channel for the Sit Down, but before we get to that,
that is our divorce documentary trailer. So if you guys do want to donate, the link is in the description. We're like $20 away from $32,000 raised. We're trying to raise $100,000 to put this divorce documentary together. Thank you to the 3 anonymous donations we had yesterday of $20, $50, and $25, and $130 from Peter. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for donating to this. Okay, so today I have a special guest I'm very excited to have on. I'm really a big fan of him. So today we have on a YouTuber with 797,000 subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Homath, how are you?
How you doing? Good to be here.
Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Long time in waiting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I've been watching you for years before I started.
So. No way, really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, cool. What got you into the red pill space? Like, what was your first viral video?
Yeah, okay. It was actually really funny story. I had never really consumed any red pill content. I never really watched or read any books or anything. I knew about it, but I mainly just studied like psychology and consciousness, and had a lot of personal experience in dating. And after COVID, I say this so much, people are so sick of hearing it. After COVID ruined my life. It like ruined everything I had going for me, particularly hard. I was just sitting around with nothing to do, going nowhere for a little while. And I just made a cranky video on TikTok and it got 4 million views. So I made a career out of it.
No way.
It was a total fluke. I was just like, I happen to have all the skills to make this into a successful career. So it was just this 25-year-old girl saying, "Men with no hose, where are you?" And so I just made her a little chart and showed her where the men with no hose were. And I said, the men, with hose are up here paying attention to you and all the other hoes. And the men without hose are down here sending you messages on Bumble and not receiving a response. And it blew up, and I made a whole thing out of it.
Wait, so what was, how did COVID destroy your life? Did you lose your job? And like,
I lost kind of everything. I don't want to get into like too much detail. I keep myself secret. I don't want to get into too much detail about exactly what I was doing, but yeah, I lost my income. I lost my extracurriculars. I lost my social circle. All of that stress, plus the George Floyd stuff made my neighborhood a lot more dangerous. Like I was in a really good neighborhood and it suddenly became really bad, like in one night. So a lot of stressful things happened all at once, and I kind of just couldn't handle it, and it spiraled. And I did not start spiraling back up for 3 years after. So,
wow, I don't know anybody that had the George Floyd stuff like directly affect. Because I remember when that happened, like I could hear the protests and stuff, but like it wasn't. So was it like there was rioting in your neighborhood and stuff?
Well, yeah, there was a little bit of opportunistic crime. Like I had never seen a crime on my street before, but on that night, all of a sudden cars were pulling up and trying to break into apartments. And there was this guy there was a bunch of people trying to break into one of those We Buy Gold shops. Mm-hmm. And this guy upstairs didn't know they were trying to do that. And he thought they were trying to go into his apartment. So after the cops came and scared them off, he went outside shirtless with a kitchen knife and just stood there for 15 minutes panting, like he was terrified. And I saw that from across the street. So I knew they weren't trying to break into his home, but he had that experience. Like he thought that 15 people were trying to break into his home. So
wow,
it got unstable. And then after that night, all of a sudden, all the windows were smashed and, my car wasn't safe and everything like that. It was like, it just was overnight.
Wow. Were you able to move? Like, or how long did you have to endure that?
I tried to put my life back together for like almost 2 years after that.
Mm-hmm.
I made some changes and everything, but I was in an area where they had lockdowns for, really long time and repeating and everything. So they let us out, and then I started planning my life again, and then they just locked us back down. And it was like, oh, again.
Yeah.
So it was basically 2 years of no social life, very little dating. There was like one girl I met on Hinge, and she only wanted to come over once because she was afraid of getting COVID and killing her parents. So it was 2 years of nothing.
Well, I was curious because I saw a reply to one of my tweets that you had like a girlfriend or something that told you not to do the YouTube stuff. That like said it was a waste of your time. Was that true? Am I misremembering this reply?
You might be misremembering a detail of it, because there was, I had a girlfriend last year, but she didn't tell me not to do the YouTube stuff.
Okay.
There was somebody earlier in my life who told me not to do like anything that would have brought me here. I did have a bad girlfriend at one point who, whenever I tried to develop my skills, she was like, this isn't going anywhere. It's not doing anything for me at this exact moment. So you need to stop. Maybe that was what I was referencing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like, so how did you come to your observations? It was all through like personal experience and just like observing society? Go ahead.
Yeah. It was just a lucky combination of personal experience and, my particular choice of studies. I have a major in communications, and I studied this thing called integral theory. I don't know if you see my levels videos, but I'm really into consciousness. I'm really into understanding how the mind works. And I've read 48 Laws of Power, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read Scott Adams' Win Bigly is one of my favorite books. And the more that I read all that stuff, I just started applying it to real life and, figuring out how the principles work in real time. And that's just the skill set that I make the videos with. I just had to, I was lucky enough to get a lot of experience along with the reading I was doing in my spare time.
And how has your life changed since you started content creation? And you do it full time now, I assume?
Yeah.
Your channel's
This
huge.
is all I do.
I'm like, there's no way you don't. Oh, God.
No. Yeah, no, I haven't had a day off in 7 months. I basically don't leave the house except to get groceries.
But
my
you
life
love
has
it,
changed.
right? You love it.
Yeah, what's
right?
that?
You love it, right? You seem like
it's my favorite job I've ever had.
Yeah.
As far as a job, I would love to be able to go take a hike or something, but there's no time quite yet. But yeah, how my life has changed is I have money for the first time ever. I was making like a very pathetic amount of money per year on average from college until then. And now I might actually make up for it. Like, things are going pretty well. That is a big difference. I'm doing something that I actually feel good about. Like, how you've had jobs that you do just because you have to, and it's, you don't have any sense of like, is this doing anything for anyone? Is it good for the world? Most of my jobs were like that. This one is not like that. I've gotten to do life coaching. I get a lot of people who, I always wanted to do life coaching before Hoemath became lucky for me. And I got the opportunity to prove that I can actually like bring people to breakthroughs within an hour, like in an hour session. Every once in a while, it would only take 40 minutes of the hour to get people to understand something new about themselves and start making new decisions. And it was like lots of opportunities to apply my skills. So that's the main two things. I can actually do something that is productive and worthwhile, and tons of money.
What are the most common realizations that people have? Because 40 minutes, that's pretty quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the most common realizations that people have is a good question. They're all very individual. So there was one guy who couldn't figure out why he felt justified cheating on everything, like handing in stuff at his job and, lying to his friends. And I helped him figure out what was the core of that. We did that like right, I think 5 minutes before the hour was up. He had that click moment. There was someone who had a lot of bad dating experience, was a young woman, and she wanted to know the way that she phrased it was she wanted to know how to go forward after having all that bad experience. And I just sort of like reframed her to, the way that you're going to feel about dating is going to be built of your past experiences, and you don't have good past experiences. They're still in the future. So you have to go make different choices, get different experiences, and make those your past, and then you'll remember it differently. And just reframing that for her shifted the whole thing. There was a guy who, his girlfriend got a really desirable job, and he reacted to that by saying, I knew this job was going to take you away from me. And I told him what he should have said was, I'm glad that, like, I'm so happy that you brought this job into our life. So it's not like he's going to change the reality of her being less available, but that would definitely change the emotional content of the relationship to not be like, oh, your job is stealing you from me, which was probably part of the reason that the relationship was experiencing trouble. So it's usually stuff like that. There was one guy who had his marriage ruined by an old friend and he said that he thought he was a really good judge of character and couldn't believe that he missed it. And so we went through who she was and everything, and I showed him the exact thing that he missed. He was like, "Oh, that's like a resolution." What he missed was that she was very beautiful and talked about wanting to have a family, but was always single.
Oh.
She was a really good, she was really well behaved, didn't swear, no tattoos or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that she said she wanted a family and could easily get one and didn't have one, it was like, what's the reason?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Lots of stuff like that.
Have you ever taken like art lessons? Because your stuff is so well drawn. It's like done very well.
Thank you. It's not, but thank you. It's
better than I can do. Better than most YouTubers can.
For sure. Yeah. I've never taken like formal art lessons unless you count high school. I took art in high school for sure.
Okay.
But it's something I mostly just do in my spare time. I've always when I've had, long periods of time without a job or something, sometimes I'll pass a day by drawing apples or something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How have you been able to remain anonymous? Because it's interesting.
I don't know.
You have such a, I think your voice is very recognizable. And one thing I always get in, like when people meet me, they always say, I didn't know if it was you until you talked. And so I'm very surprised that nobody's heard your voice and like connected the dots.
Oh no. Well, okay. So that has happened, but nobody's really made a big thing of it.
Okay.
It was a family member called me and said, "Is this you?" And I was like, "Yes, but shh." And then a couple people who I used to know reached out to me digitally, but I didn't respond.
Okay.
So that's been all so far.
Wow, that's like, because you're kind of living the dream when you think about it. You get all the YouTube money with none of the like problems.
None of the annoyance, yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome.
I really don't ever want to be recognized.
Yeah. Do you know what? It was cool for me at first until you start getting like the problems that come, until you get put on a DHS watch list and you're like, I see.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
For what?
Do you know what? I think I just got, like, they spent like $800,000 trying to stop me and like 10 other content creators in the space.
Oh, I think I might remember that. Was it something to do with the FBI?
I don't really remember.
Okay.
Because I just kind of like, what am I going to do? I just kept going. But
right. Yeah. Yeah. That's wild that they would get involved with that. Yeah. It was something about like incel terror threats. Was that right?
Yeah. Why do you think, like, what's your take on why they try to stop this content so hard?
My take on it is it's basically the best example of it is Andrew Tate. The dissatisfaction that young men get from being rejected, like men don't like being rejected. It makes them angry. When men are angry, sometimes they smash things. People get very afraid of that. Mm-hmm. The actual data on incel violence is, it's not so scary. Not really all that dangerous. But historically speaking, when men in general lose access to women, they do tend to either become like a butler for their family or they join a terrorism group. And that's like historically speaking, that's what happens in societies that this happens to. But statistically so far, we haven't had a lot of like European or American or Australian incel terror hives break out. They're mostly just still trying to pretend that their video games are good and hang on to the little that they have. So I don't know what they're thinking. Sometimes I get stuck on this, like, does law enforcement know so much more than me that I cannot figure out their moves, or are they just like dumb? Is it just, sometimes it just looks dumb, like they're wasting their time on
Well, why don't they just solve the problem then and make prostitution legal?
That would have something to do with it for sure. I think that would relieve quite a bit of the pressure. The problem with that is, to answer your question literally, why don't they, is that whoever campaigned on that would lose because America's still got Puritan leanings.
I bet a woman's the first one that's going to campaign on that.
Yeah, she's the only one who could. Yeah. A woman could get prostitution through, for sure.
Do you think we'll see like a female OnlyFans politician in our lifetime?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I think there might be one. I'm not sure if she's on OnlyFans, but I made fun of this young girl. She's like really cute too. I think she's like 26. Her name is like Abu Ghazala or something, Kat Abu Ghazala.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just got all these pictures of herself wearing, really skimpy clothes and like sitting on a bar with her legs open, her tongue out and stuff. And then she ran for some kind of office and won. So now she's like in the government.
No way, she won. I heard about someone who lost.
Won, yeah.
What's her name? I want to look it up.
I believe she won. I hope I didn't overshoot.
Look, if she did, I'll just,
Yeah. It's Kat. I think it's Kat, K-A-T. And then Abu Ghazala, it's like a A-B-U-G-A-Z.
No way.
You see her?
She's like, it lives in Dallas, Texas, Pakistani immigrant.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. House campaign.
Yeah.
No way. I can't see if she won or not. I don't know if she won.
Huh.
Wait. At the time. Announced that she would enter the Democratic, which has been held. Now they're announced. Or is it still going? I don't know. I guess we'll go back to that. But
it was a while ago. I think that it was the campaign was for the same one as the presidential election.
That's just, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Did you see a picture of her?
Yeah, she's like a mid. Yeah. The hot women, it's like mids. We tend to go to like political areas,
Yeah.
The hot girls are going to Playboy or
That's a 10 in the House.
The what?
That's a 10 in the House of Representatives.
Okay. A 10? Really? You think she's a 10?
I mean, who's hotter than her in Congress?
Oh, in Congress, hell yeah.
Yeah.
AOC used to be the one,
That's true, yeah.
But she's kind of gotten big like the Latinas tend to, right?
Yeah, she's getting older too, isn't she?
Yeah.
30 something. Yeah, I remember when I learned about Kat, I think I said something like, I have met 300 of this girl. You do not trust them to make decisions.
The political. It says the election hasn't happened yet. It's for 2026, November 3rd.
All right.
But she's gotten over $500,000.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if she's like technically on OnlyFans, but we're leaning that way.
Yeah. Does that kind of black pill you a bit? Like, does it make you depressed about like, how's your outlook going? How are you feeling about the future?
My outlook has been maxed out. Like, I don't think I would call myself black pilled. I had this conversation with another, integral theory fan a little while ago. I think I would call myself clear pilled. I don't really like to decide that things are gonna be bad. I just like to be realistic. Mm-hmm. I just like to let things be as they are. And a lot of bad things are happening and a lot of bad signs are coming. And the worse it gets, the harder it is gonna be to break out of the downward spiral. So the way that my outlook responds to stuff like that is it's almost just like that part on the roller coaster when you're a kid and you regret getting on it. And you're like, this is too scary for me right now, but you're already on it. So you just kind of have to take a deep breath. Like whatever happens is going to happen. And, people went to World War II and got their guts blown out and people have seen worse than I'm going to see. At some point, it's just like, you got to make a decision and stick with it. You're going to flee America because things might get bad. I try not to let that spin out of control. I try not to make predictions, but in terms of how bad things are getting, I see more and more ridiculous stuff happening every day. It gets more intense every day.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't see it turning around. I don't see any fulcrum to turn it around.
Yeah. There's just no incentive, right?
Yeah.
Like when women, because the way I think about it is if everybody makes $8 off of women and $2 off of men, who in their right mind is going to pick $2? Except us, I guess. But not everyone's crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have anything to say to women.
Yeah.
If I did, I guess I'd be richer faster.
No, I know. I saw your tweet recently, which was like, could you tell me the story about you at the party with the 112-pound girl? Go ahead.
Yeah. This was, God, Twitter is such a minefield. people really hate when you don't make points the way that they want you to. It was just a long time ago. I went to a party and I am, people accuse me of being autistic all the time. I have that sort of just say things as they are quality to me. And I just always ruin the fun by just pointing things out. So I went downstairs and I had a beer, and there was this girl with her friends or some people she just met, and she was asking people to guess how much she weighed. And I held up my beer and butted in, and I was like 112 pounds. And she started crying. And I said, what, was that too much? And she's like, no, it's exactly 112, but I wanted to be less. And she just wanted for someone to look at her 112 pound body and say 108. That was what she wanted.
112 is skinny.
It was very skinny. I think she was like 5'3". She was cute and she was in great shape, but she just wanted that number that came out of my mouth to be lower than the number she saw on the scale that morning. And that was what gave her emotions that day.
Mm-hmm. And when doing your content, when I listen to your content, I actually think it's more palatable to women than a lot of the red pill. I don't know if you'd consider yourself, but you're either red pill or adjacent, right?
It's red pill adjacent for sure, because it's this is the truth about women and sex. And
do you find you get the same visceral reactions that Myron, I do, or do you think that the reactions women have to you are a little bit tamer? Because you're very calm when you do the videos.
Yeah, I try not to be, I try to only be negative towards women when they're being bratty and rude and awful and spoiled. I try not to say things like sometimes some of those red pill guys, I won't name names or anything, but sometimes they just go you're deluded. You're never going to get that. And it's she was being nice, Mm-hmm. I try not to go into that kind of territory, but, I think that women who watch my content, which there's plenty of them, there's a lot of women who, get in touch with me, send me messages, get life coaching from me when I did it. I think that they get the same thing out of it that the men get out of it. It's just that it's a less popular personality type in women to enjoy learning the truth and enjoy self-reflecting. There's just more men who, first of all, there's men who want to be vindicated. They watch my stuff and they go, yeah, women do that. That's a lot of them. But I think that there's still more men who want to look deeper and challenge themselves than there are women, but there are some of them. And my content does give them the opportunity to do that. That's the most common thing I hear from women is you understand me so well that you explained me to me. And I'm that's awesome. I'm very good at this.
Yeah. The one thing too with that I went through when I started, because women do say things on shows they want to date a guy that's 6 figures and all that stuff, but they don't really, and you go through this in your content, a lot of times they're banging the bartender, the musician,
whoever makes her feel good.
Yeah, so it's that's one thing I thought they meant it too when I first started, but they don't. When you find out who these girls are actually dating, trust, it's not. It's not the guys they say.
I've been on both sides of that. I remember, I think I just saw you talking about this the other day, that you were referring to these guys as alphas. I don't know if I'd call myself an alpha necessarily, but the guys who are the cheated with rather than the cheated on, when you're in that position, you just kind of never look at women the same way again. That was a formative experience. The way that I think they look at it, it's endlessly interesting to compare the way that men think to the way that women think. Men tend to be objective and women tend to be relational in their thinking. And when women say what they want from men, they're describing what they want the men they like to do. And when men ask, what do you want from men? They're what about men do you like? And they never meet. They never cross paths. The men are give me instructions to make women be attracted to me. And the women say, here's what you should do for someone who's already attracted to you. And then they do it and it doesn't work.
You said that you were the one that was cheated with. I think I saw that tweet from you.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like? Did you know from the get-go, or was it something you found out later?
I never knew beforehand. I never was aware beforehand. It was always like in the middle or a month later or something. Like sometimes they would seriously say in the middle of the whole thing. And I would go, well, what am I supposed to do now? This is an awkward situation. But that actually happened 17 times.
No way.
17 different women told me that they had a boyfriend, and in three cases, a husband. And I was like,
oh my God. Wait, so did you meet them off of dating apps, or where did you?
Most of them. Yeah. A few of them were like friends of friends or met at an event in the city. I think it was like 4 or 5.
I'm surprised they told you. Like, was there something, did you find out, or like
one of them, I just touched her wedding ring. And I was like, well, what is this? And she was like, oh, it's a red wedding ring. I was like, you're married? And she's like, yeah. Like, it was just like nothing.
I think that modern marriage is cosplay. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Yeah, I saw you say that recently, and I think that is overwhelmingly true. I think that is like, that's a really strong overlay, because if you start with like what a marriage originally was, it's like a contract assigning a woman to the care of a man, and it's like, okay, she makes you babies and you have to feed her, and if either one of you doesn't do the right thing, we're going to be mad at you, right? So they apply pressures on making the people stay together so that you have stability. And then, it evolved into different things. There's the dowry system, and there's families intermarrying for power and whatnot. And the way that technology, from the dishwasher to the cell phone, has changed what is required of people. It has turned marriage into a fashion item. It's like a hat that you buy. And it just doesn't have any of those bonds anymore. And so it just lifts right out. Like, as soon as you have a fight, well, I don't want to be married anymore. I thought it was going to be exciting forever. And nobody puts any pressure on the couple to stay together. So it's very unstable. Like, you have to really make sure that this person likes you, or it's dangerous.
Well, I said this to someone, and he kind of pushed back on me, and he said no. And then I asked him, well, why does the bride wear white? And he had no response.
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, I got nothing.
Yeah. How often is that accurate, right? It's like 2% of the time, right?
Yeah, like out of the 2%, I feel like I have a video called "Your Virginity Doesn't Count If You're Fat." What's the point?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like nobody's trying, or nobody hot. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah. It's like a donut that you found in the dumpster or something. No one wanted it anyway.
If you want to make a video about that, I would think that would be fun.
I'll make a note.
Okay, so I have a concept I want to get your opinion on. Sure. Life is never going to be fair for men, so feminism is women advocating for their lives to be as unfair for them as it is for men. That is equality. Agree, disagree? What are your thoughts?
Feminism is women advocating for them to have the same level of difficulty as men?
Well, that's
what you're saying?
Yeah. So, like, for example, I think we're going to see more women on alimony, like being put on alimony and child support in the future, getting longer prison sentences because they keep fighting for life to be equally as unfair to them. I know they don't mean it, right? But,
yeah. But is that really going to happen though? Like, are we trending towards it? Because in my impression, which, I'm not really keeping up on it or anything, but it seems to me like the basic human reaction to womanhood, which is, this is the nice one that we, that never lies or does anything wrong, and we keep her safe. It seems like that still is giving them all the advantages and, not getting drafted and getting favored in court. And, I don't think it's going to go away. I think it's subconscious.
You might be right.
Yeah.
You might be right.
I think it's just people look at women and they go, oh, lady, she's pretty and nice, protect her. I think that's where it comes from.
I do think we've kind of started to see an uptick in alimony, but it'll never, even Kelly Clarkson, it's like she got like a one-time payment of $1.5 million and lost the house. And she went and had 6 months of alimony and everyone was freaking out. But I do think we're going to see a little bit more women being put on alimony.
Yeah. Do you mean having to pay it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that's more likely to happen that's a lot more likely to happen just due to the fact that more people are getting married where the woman makes more. That's happening a lot more.
Yeah, like
That's,
you see you see like the I would see the lawyer personal trainer combo a lot in London.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a guy, that was his whole strategy. He just wanted a kid with a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. And so he was the personal trainer?
Yeah. Well, he was like, I don't know what he did for a living, but he was pretty built. So that was like he would just go for like the 32-year-old lawyers.
Yeah.
And they would pay his rent.
Yeah.
And he would just get like 3.
Like, you mean like juggle 3 of them?
Yeah, he would just keep going for like, that was like his thing. I think he was like,
yeah, like a kept man.
Yeah. They're rare.
That's
though.
funny.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. You have to be special for that. You have to be like one of those yoga guys who stood on a mountain for 3 years on one foot or something. You got to have something impressive enough to manage that.
How has this impacted your dating life? Like, has dating been easier since you've had the channel? And
it's been completely different.
No way.
Before COVID, my dating life was just dying due to age. So my story was that, like, in high school, I was really blue-pilled all the way through college. I just didn't understand what I was doing. And I had a girlfriend here and there, but it wasn't really anything to write home about. At age 24, I started learning all the stuff that I teach now, and it completely transformed my dating life. And I had like just amazing successes and transformed who I was, and learned a lot about women. And I just was aging out. Like, one day the app stopped working. I thought that my Wi-Fi was out, but no, I just like became ugly in one day, I guess. And I was just dwindling. It was like the amount of attention I would get. I started noticing that the girl I was talking to at the bar would be interested in talking to me, but then always more interested in talking to a younger guy. And I went, oh, that's it. I've gone too far. So when COVID happened, everything shut down, and I was only seeing this one girl who happened to live near me, and messaged me on Facebook and just basically didn't let me say no. She was just like, look, you're right there. I'm coming over. And other than that, it wasn't much for those 2.5 years that I was still there. Then after that, I did pretty much zero dating until Homath started. And now it's only women who know me through Homath.
Really? And
yeah, I don't go out to date anymore.
Has that been like better for the quality of women?
It's easier to find quality women. Mm-hmm. It's definitely easier. Like, they come talk to me and I can check them out and I can say, look at her Instagram, see what she looks like, FaceTime her if I want a face reveal. It's a lot easier than the apps were miserable, and going out it's easier than the apps, but it was just getting less and less fun with age. So it's, what was the question? Is it easier? Is that what you said?
Well, I was just curious. I always am curious when a guy gets a big following, if it I just was wondering if the quality of women before and after, was it like life changing? Was it kind of the same as when you were younger? Like,
it reminds me of when I was younger. Yeah. I wouldn't call it life changing, but it's like the kind of girl who used to talk to me when I was 30 is talking to me again now. It's like, oh, this feels good.
Okay. Did you like bald or something? Like what? Like age? I don't see guys age out too often, so I'm just curious.
I don't know. I did. My hairline changed at one point, and so I stopped. Like I had to change my hairstyle because I noticed there was a bald spot, and I was like, oh, I don't want to pretend. I don't want to be that guy. Mm-hmm. And other than that, I think it's just kind of just the age on my face. I don't know. Okay. I'm not really sure. Like when I look at pictures of me 15 years ago and pictures today, I can see why it's significantly different. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd have to ask them about it. I'm just gauging their reactions to me.
Okay, I was just. So do you not agree with the concept that there's like no wall for men?
So wait a minute. Do I think there is a wall
for men? Yeah.
I think there's 2 walls for men. There's like a wall and then a hill. There is a point at which you are no longer at your peak sexual attractiveness. For men, it's average age 27, which lines up perfectly for me. I was just slaying 26, 27, 28. It was very easy compared to now, especially. But then money influences men a lot too. So and that's exactly what's happening to me now. Suddenly I have money and everything's become easier. Money and status. Mm-hmm. When women have money and status, it does not make them very much more attractive. It makes them easier to date, but it doesn't make them more attractive in the same way. So the ability of a man to gain money and status can and often does compensate for the loss of looks.
Okay, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I was hoping you could do, you could Hoemath a couple of concepts for me. Sure. And maybe illustrate my thought process. Would you be willing to? Okay.
I can try. I got my camera.
Okay, cool. So basically, one journey, women journey, right?
Yeah.
When I came into this space, I didn't really understand why men had such a bad view on marriage. Mm-hmm. I thought it was good. My parents were married. I went from a small school. We had 30 kids in my class. Maybe, at least at the time, because when I got into the space, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. So at the time, like maybe 2 or 3 people from that class, like divorced. So I thought it was all good. I was like, what's the big deal? Why are these guys saying don't get married? And then I started interviewing men, right?
Yeah.
And I started interviewing the guys, and they start telling me their divorce stories. And my first thought was, not all women are like that. And I thought, well, it's just, you guys are just picking these super liberal women. And then I started interviewing guys that did not pick any of those things. I'm talking extreme Muslim, extreme Christian, extreme. I even interviewed a guy from Michael Knowles' church. You know, like he sells the whole marriage. I interviewed a guy that was from his exact Latin Mass church. And it was one of the worst divorce stories I ever heard. Yeah. And I came to the conclusion that marriage is just not a good deal for men.
Yeah. That's how it feels, for sure. What was it? So you wanted me to illustrate it?
Yeah, if you can. It'd be kind of fun.
I mean, the first thing that I would want to do with that would be to make a graph about like how much we force people to stay married.
Okay.
You like force versus the quality of the marriage, which I guess maybe I should have switched those. See if I can do it anyway. Quality of marriage. And I think that if you force them an extreme amount, I think I gotta switch this. Quality and force. So if you have like harems and what is it, polygyny? I can't remember what it was called. Then I think that the quality of marriage is pretty low. And if you have a certain amount of force, the quality gets higher. And then if you have none, it gets low again. So like at 0, it's low.
Okay.
And at maximum, it's also low. But somewhere in here is like you can't marry the guy if your dad doesn't want you to.
Okay.
And you have to stay married. If you get married, you have to have a good reason. And if you cheat, you lose everything. Like there has to be constraints. At some level of constraint, I don't know what exactly the level is, but at some level of you get punished if you're bad in your marriage and you break your vows. I think that is not only happier for both husband and wife, but also better for society.
I want to give the men an opt-out clause.
Wait a minute, what about?
I want to add in can the men get an opt-out clause? Not the women.
Opt-out for what?
Hear me out. Have you ever seen like a woman in a marriage that doesn't want to be there? And they're just like the devil. They hold that man back so much. The attitude, the nag, it just, I know so many men like this. That's the other thing. When you get red pilled, you start to realize how disrespectful even normal wives are. Yeah. And you're like, why is she doing that? You know,
did you ever see like Everybody Loves Raymond?
I didn't, but I can think of other shows maybe that I saw that probably had similar concepts you're going to get at.
Right? Yeah. That was the whole thing in the sitcoms in the last, few decades was like, oh, my wife, oh, she's in charge and she hates me and everything's terrible. And that's just what people were writing about because that's what they were experiencing. And yeah, I really don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that other than just like impress your wife again, but it can be very difficult to do. You have to
impossible. I mean, Tom Brady just got divorced. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what happens when you get bored of Tom Brady? How does he Tom Brady even harder? You can't. Yeah. You just need to switch. You just need someone new. Something that I've been thinking about for a while is how could we redesign marriage contracts to fit the way that just like human nature and the way that society has loosened up. And I've heard of things like 4-year marriage contracts. Mm-hmm. So that's long enough to have a kid and raise it to the point where you don't have to watch it every day. Mm-hmm. Or something like that. And then that would help people avoid that whole, like, my wife won't look at me in the eye thing that happens to like, what is it? Ooh. Half of men.
It could be like the draft where you get traded.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a government mediated wife swapping. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to get creative.
Like a review system.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Like star ratings.
Yeah. But I just came to the conclusion. I was like, I don't know why a guy would do it. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, I know the answer as to why. It's, usually it's a guy who knows that he's not ever going to get anyone that good again. So he has to do what she says. Even though he knows he's going to burn everything. There's a 50% chance that he's going straight down the tubes. Like, it's not necessarily that they don't know what the risk is. It's just they go, okay, 50% chance I lose everything, or 100% chance I never find a woman like this again.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
And so that's how you'd illustrate it, though. You do like equality versus force.
Yeah, that was my first idea for that particular concept. I would get out my colors and everything, and I would say quality of marriage versus the amount of force applied to the marriage. And then I forgot if you said anything else in there.
No, it's just a marriage isn't a good deal for men. That's pretty much the end concept. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it. The last girl I dated wanted to get married really fast, and I was considering it. But it was absolutely terrifying. It was like, it was just the exact thing that I said. Like, I'm getting older, and this girl, she was pretty cool. And I was like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Like, I just got famous and I just got all this stuff going for me. Do I want to sign up for 50%? So yeah, it's terrifying. I don't know how to deal with it.
Well, do you think you would do it?
I was feeling like there was a good chance that I might. I was feeling like there was like, I was leaning towards like something. It felt like 50%. It felt like 50% going through with it.
My next concept I was hoping you could illustrate.
No, right.
All right. So I used to have hope when I came into this industry.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought conservatives were going to win. I was like, we're totally going to win. It's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think it's going to get way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I predict whores are going to keep being whores.
Yeah.
OnlyFans models in political offices, like we said earlier. Mm-hmm. Women are just going to kill their kids in like more creative ways. So maybe plan B, maybe abortion goes down a little bit, but plan B's go up. Yeah. Birth rate will be like 0. Maybe crime will go down for a little bit now that we got Trump in office, but like long term, we'll just keep voting for dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's amazing how they do that. They ruin their states and then move to another state and then ruin that one with the same vote.
Yeah. Maybe Texas will be next since everyone's going there.
It's pretty close. Yeah. What was it? Yeah. What was it that you wanted illustrated?
Yeah, so just that it's not going to get better. Like abortion is still going to go up.
Oh, I see. If I was going to draw it not getting better, I would. That one's kind of complicated. I'm kind of feeling like I want to have like.
And there's nothing anyone can do about it. So any conservative saying like we just got to fight the culture war, they're not going to win the culture war. There's too many forces going against it. So
I kind of want to just draw like this is Pearl. I'd make your hair red if I had time.
Okay.
So it's clearly you. And then I would put like a ballot box here. And then I think I would put it turning into a big pipe that just goes into exactly the same place as the Democrat one. And then over here, there's just like Planned Parenthood and like open borders, Rio Grande, and the Rio Grande here with the, sombreros coming across it and everything. And I would just draw the pipe like merging, like a Super Mario pipe going to the same place.
Oh,
that's my first. That's my first instinct. It usually takes me the longest to come up with the idea of the drawing, and then not very long to draw it because they're just scribbles. But yeah, I like these. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun. So I had oh, that's cool. You can draw that quick.
Yeah, well, they're just scribbles. Sometimes I just draw fruit on my lives. I'll just do like an apple.
Oh, so it goes to the same place. Okay. It's a little delayed when I see it here, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna change my set when I move, but sometimes I can't see the screen at the same time.
Where are you moving? Same place?
Where I said before the live, but I haven't announced it yet. I haven't announced it yet. So
we'll keep it secret.
Another thing I'd want to illustrate in it is that conservatives have to move on. Like abortion, we've lost. I had a pro-lifer, I had Lila Rose on my show, and I told her that she was wasting her life. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It really, you're just performing for Jesus.
Yeah, because I'm like, I have shown women abortion videos, and if I could put into words how much they don't care, like I have shown videos of like limbs getting ripped out, like really disgusting, horrible videos, and they're like,
yeah,
but it's our body.
It's the wrong guy's kid, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Brutal. I think there's bigger things like illegals, the economy, shithole like Democrat city.
Yeah.
The transitioning a kid. I just think abortion, we should just give up.
Yeah, it's just some people's favorite issue for whatever reason. Either they had an experience or they know a lot about it or they're making money talking about it or something. I agree with you on that one. The abortion thing, it's like, of all of the things that we have going on that are destructive, why would you really want to spend your time and energy on that one? Like the one I'm spending my money on is trying to teach people how not to be just garbage to each other with basic, empathy and metacognitive skills. It's going pretty good.
So sorry, I was like, that sounds like even more of a losing cause.
Well, some people learn. It's like the thing about
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. The thing about the metacognitive skills is you can teach them to a few people. It can make a big difference. You don't have to get to everybody.
Yeah. Well, and you're doing like individualized coaching. That's a little different.
Yeah.
Than like, a whole. But like if you were coaching women to like not being sluts or something like that, it's impossible.
No, yeah, that's different. That's a tough one. Like sometimes women do come to me with that question. I've had to coach a few women like, I don't want to get too specific or anything about what they've said. I don't want to give away anything about who they are, but they'll say like, this was my life. What do I do? And I just go kind of just bite a leather strap. Like you're going to have to accept a lot less of what you want out of life because of either you're going to have to lie to these guys or you're going to have to accept something that isn't like what you've had in the past.
Yeah, she's going to have to lie.
Yeah,
that's a Delenda doing. Yeah.
probably usually the response.
You know what's even more messed up? I've interviewed people with like incurable STDs.
Mm-hmm.
They lie. That's the only way they go forward.
I've heard all about that. Yep.
We're going to do that show Friday if you guys are curious. I'm going to read the super chats. Cool. Honest question. If I have zero chance at everything, I'm black pilled and a POS. At what stage of alcoholism should I clock out early?
Oh, geez.
What do you think?
I mean, isn't it like a legal risk to answer that question? I think the fact that you're answering the question means that you do actually want help and you want someone to care. That's what I would say to this, presumably a guy. This would be really weird if that was a woman. I would say that the fact that you're reaching out, and especially the fact that you spent money on a super chat, means that you probably do want someone to care and listen and help. And I do get it, and I have been there. And there are still some days where I clearly remember having been there. And what I usually say to people who are in places like that is that life can be sometimes like multiplicative instead of additive. And sometimes something can happen that's more like a multiplication problem than an addition problem. You might not have to wait for things to add up. You might have something that turns it around real quick.
Most conservative women are 304s playing to secure cash and prizes. Do you agree with that?
I don't know if I'd say most, but I would definitely agree that there's not a significant difference between that kind of behavior in conservative and liberal women. It's just the political opinions are just which group they want to belong to mostly. I don't know if it's most.
I think it's just the hottest guy. Which guys do they find hotter running it, and that's who we pick.
Yeah, and it's what they're comfortable with too. It's like girls who grow up in the country, they like the guys who are holding the fish on Tinder. And girls from the city hate the guy holding the fish on Tinder. It's what they view as their own.
Yeah. They want to know about rate my chat GPT AI girlfriend. Is she a keeper? What do you think about that?
Do we have pictures?
I don't know. That's all.
What am I rating her on?
There's no rating. It's just the super chat. So what do you think about a guy with an AI girlfriend? Should he?
I think that you should not mention it anymore. I think if that's what you're doing with your life, you keep that good and quiet.
That's so funny. Okay, the minute polygamy becomes openly embraced, the majority of men make less than women, and society starts eliminating the mechanisms men use to decompress, passport bros, video games, and corn. There will be civil unrest. Homath for president. I'd love to show real-life examples of female delusion from my dating app DMs.
That would be great.
What do you think?
Send them to me.
Yeah? How do they send them?
Oh, I got a link tree. Go to my link tree. Send me your examples.
Okay. What did you think about the other part of this super chat?
The part about as soon as guys lose that stuff, there's going to be fire and blood in the streets. Yeah. Is that basically it? Yeah. I mean, that's what's holding them back. You know, I talk to these guys and I'm not saying I am one, but I am in a demographic that is at risk of that. Like if my life wasn't going well right now, I'd be feeling the same things they feel. And it's dismal. It is dismal. The only thing that I could do to keep myself sane during the COVID years was to go outside and get exercise and take walks and bike rides. And then they locked that up too. And I was just like, ugh. The amount of pressure that you feel when you have nothing, when you're completely cut off from everything and they take away the stuff that you like, it's crazy. There's no way that they're going to be able to control that en masse. So yeah, he's spot
on. Ask him why the racism on X while pretending the world racism isn't real and has a problem with anti-XYZ, but uses anti-white. Calls people low IQ and they don't agree. Oh, sorry, this guy's a hater.
Yeah, this is antagonistic. I do talk about race sometimes on X, and I just am really, really, really sick of the way that conversation has been going, and so I reframe it. And some people don't like the way I reframe it, and that's what it sounds like.
Oh, okay. Making abortion illegal isn't to dissuade abortion; it's so we have legal recourse to subject them to capital punishment. And you know what, Eric? It's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we have zero chance.
Zero chance to what? To legal
Change
recourse?
that law. Like, they're not going to put women in jail that have abortions.
Oh,
There's
no.
no way.
No. There are some people who want to, but how are you going to manage that? Like, people say repeal the 19th all the time, and it's like, why are you spending your breath on that? Is that going to happen? Is that realistic?
Yeah, I learned that. I used to sell t-shirts, actually, and it cost me so much money because I got demonetized. And I can tell you firsthand it was not worth it.
Yeah.
It was not worth it. It was a waste of breath. And I wish I never talked about it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to learn the hard way. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I hope I don't have to learn any more hard ways.
No, read the guidelines. I'll tell you what. You want to stay. Had to change that. Oh, I read that already. I think that's all the supers. Oh, you got the whole apple done. Look at that.
Yeah. Got a nice crisp apple. Little green. Little Bob Ross stuff over here. Yeah, this is what I do when I'm like trying to decompress at night.
So there's my little ballot, and then it's both going to the same one.
Yeah, and then this is just like, you know, the like blue hair, spiky blue hair, morbidly obese. The flag with all this stuff on it. And it just goes to the same place, which is all the same devil horns, awful policies that destroy everything. It's like the Democrats do it really fast and the Republicans do it kind of fast. I
can't imagine being in an area where the Floyd stuff, like people were looting. You must have been terrified. I would have been.
It was pretty uncomfortable. I really wondered how bad it was going to get. I was like, when I saw them try to break into that one place, I was like, tense about it. And then, after that day, I started seeing crimes happen from my bedroom window. Like, it used to be a safe neighborhood. And then I saw people get attacked, and I saw windows get smashed and bags stolen out of them from where I sleep. And that never stopped for the whole time I was there.
Did you ever get like robbed or your car broken into or anything?
I did get, I guess you would call it, assaulted a few times. Mm-hmm. The technical definition of assault is like whenever somebody makes a move that's like, I'm gonna do something to you, like that. Accost me on the street when I was just going to get ice cream, like that. There's some crazy kind of stuff. And that was all things that had never happened before then. And then they all started happening after then.
Well, what happened to me during that time? I think I did have people asking why I didn't post a black square. Do you remember those?
I remember them. Yeah, I remember being really actually upset about it because I knew that was just like a brainwashing thing. Yeah. When that was going on, I knew that this is another Trayvon Martin. This is another Rodney King. It's just like the same playbook over and over. They know how to make people upset and get them to run around and riot and do ridiculous things. It's happening again. And that was really actually a tough time for me because something about, I can't know how to articulate it, but something about my elementary school education, my teachers taught me properly what happens when people go crazy because they all follow each other. They talked about the Nazis, the Soviets, they talked about the witch trials. It was just like sometimes people will all just get the same idea all at once and it's a bad idea, but they listen to each other because that's what they do is they listen to each other. Mm-hmm. And I always felt, after my teachers taught me that, I always felt like we're not going to do that anymore. We just taught ourselves about it, so we don't do that anymore. But you just can't train that out of people. They just will do that forever.
Well, one gender, but I'm not going to get hate speech today.
Yeah, it is sort of led by one.
Oh, we got $100 super chat. Do all single women, do you think all single women 40 and older have PTSD? Great show. Thank you, Pearl.
Do I think they have PTSD? No. I mean, I'm not sure really what they're getting at with that. To answer it literally, no. single women 40 and older with PTSD? Like that would have to mean that they went through.
Maybe he means some sort of like, because aren't a bunch of them on antidepressants and stuff? So maybe he means some sort of mental disorder.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if I would. I think that the peak SSRI crew is like late 20s.
No way.
That's what I think. I don't have any data on it, but just from what I've observed, it seems to me that it's like when girls stop being girls and start becoming women, and they maybe see like a couple crow's feet or something, and they go, oh, that peak time is over, and I don't have a boyfriend or family or a husband or something. It seems like that is when it's most likely to start.
What was crazy for me is when I would see trends seep into my real life. Because it's one thing to see like TikTok girls on the internet, but when I cover antidepressant trends for 2 years and then a really good friend of mine gets on it, do you know what I mean? It's like someone that I never thought would.
Yeah.
Doug MPA, he says antidepressant use, including SSRIs, generally increase with age in women, with the highest rates observed in women 60 and older.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess that guy was onto something then.
The other one says abortion rate, abortion chain gangs. Okay, well, guys, this one
just wanted to say it.
This was one pathetic. I subscribe if you don't like accountability. Okay, is this the same guy? I subscribed to his YouTube. Just found his ex and found him on X. And saw what I said, so I asked. You don't like accountability? Oh, he's kind of upset. Okay, well, I'm sorry, David. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I guess your tweets make some people mad.
My tweets are a little bit more spicy.
Yeah, mine do too. It's Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're getting good. You got the open borders.
Put a Wile E. Coyote sign with the crack in the wood, like Looney Tunes. Exclamation point. Sombrero guy. Planned Parenthood building with devil horns. It just all goes to the same place. I would have to think this one through to make it like as impactful as my regular drawings, but I just did a really good one. I can't put it on. If I was using OBS, I could show you. I'll get it to you next time.
The next one I was going to do is there's no such thing as a good woman.
And is that you just want to know if I agree?
No, I'll tell you the concept. So.
Oh, you want me to illustrate it?
No, I want to, hold on. So I used to think that I was somehow super moral because I'd never done any of the yacht stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I'd never been flown to Dubai. I'd never done the yacht stuff. And I would think, wow, I'm so moral.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it and I was like, well, I've never been invited.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I saw the same thing with the guys that said they wouldn't cheat. And I'm like, well, nobody's trying to get with you.
Yeah.
So of course you don't
exactly
cheat.
It, yeah.
Yeah. And I realized that the odds, like if I was Megan Fox level of beautiful, I have no idea what I would do with that power. I really don't, because I've never, she had the most top men all, and for her to still fumble that is crazy. But
what did she do? What happened?
She's like divorced, and like I think she was with Machine Gun Kelly, and they got divorced.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, no, I did hear about that.
But even me judging her now, it's like, I don't know what I would do with that level of hotness. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say because I've never been in that position. And every time I would meet women that were super feminine, every time I would meet them, there was always something they were making up for. Like they'd be really overweight or they'd have kids. You know what I mean? Like it would be something.
Yes.
And it made me think even more. And then I would look at like the women that were like strippers and bottle girls were like strong sixes pluses. And then I would see the engineers and they would be like fives, low sixes. And I would just think, this is all, there's no good women. It's just the right circumstance. Or like me, if something goes wrong in my life, I can move home with my family. Where some women, their only choice is being a hooker. So,
So I happen to have some pretty good illustrations for this one already. I don't know if you were looking for them.
Cool.
But this one's from a video I'm making right now.
Okay.
And it is how girls will say, like, just because I dress this way doesn't mean that I'm like that.
Mhm.
But the more you dress this way, the more attention you get, the more attention you get, the more temptation, the more chances there are. So making this choice is a chance of it happening.
Okay.
So the behavior that you choose is like directly correlated to the outcomes that you're going to get. So what that means is that a good woman is a woman who makes choices who keep her away from these things. It's not someone who's going to resist temptation, because we suck at that. Like I never had, that level of attractiveness. I say that I was an 8, but when I say that, I mean like locally. When I say that, I'm not saying I was a cover model or anything. I was just attractive enough that I got up out of that not people zone area where you get ignored, and plenty of women were interested in me.
That's my favorite phrase of yours, the not people zone.
Yeah. I keep that handy.
That's so funny.
I always have them handy.
Keep going.
So what makes a person good, and not just a woman, but what makes a person good is like what you choose, where you choose to put yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to watch her behavior, and it's like, how is she dressing? Modest or independent? Where's she hang out? Church or club? What's her loyalty in the past? High or low? It's not like who you are deep down. That's what people want to think about what makes you good, is that I'm just a good person because I feel like I am, and I know I would make all the right choices. It's where you put yourself and how you grow around it. And, willpower's got something to do with it, and everybody's got different amounts of willpower, but it's about where you habitually put yourself and how you develop through it. And also whether or not you grow up. I made a new levels chart.
Oh, wow.
Whether or not you grow up through the lower levels. Like you have to be able to at least do this when you're facing temptation. And, not a lot of people do. I know I didn't. With my very moderate level of getting out of the not people zone, I definitely fumbled that, I would say. Just spent it improperly.
Well, because I thought about it and I was like, well, if I was invited to like parties with A-level celebrities, like some of these women are, I have no idea. I like to think, you like to think you wouldn't. But you can't say that until the opportunity.
You have to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And so I realized, I'm like, I don't know many beautiful women. Like I met a lot of girls that got to party with like Chris Brown in London. I don't know what, that was like the number one. He had some London shows, I guess, and I don't know a single girl that didn't go. And some of these women, I would say, were younger, pure, like more pure than me, but Chris Brown called, they're going.
Yeah, because why would you not go, right?
Yeah.
What would be the equivalent for me? I mean, men don't get like invited to things like that.
Like a Playboy party? Like Playboy
Probably.
Bunny like party back in the day?
Probably. I did get invited to go hang out and do Michael Sartain stuff with Michael Sartain, and I didn't go. But I don't know if that's equivalent. You know Michael Sartain?
Yeah. No, I've been on his show.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Great. Yeah. I passed through Vegas, and I was like, I better not go do his girl stuff. I might still go. I don't know.
I was like, why not? You're single, right?
Yeah.
So what's the downside?
I don't know. I've just kind of have never felt like that kind of vibe is for me. I did want to meet him and see what goes on out there. But there's always time. I could always go this summer or something.
I don't think like groups of girls are all that different. Like even if you get like the models, there's going to be whore ones. There's going to be like normal ones,
of course.
So
of course.
You never know.
Yeah, they're all just doing a look. Yeah. They're all just like dressing apart, and then they're all going to have their own personalities for sure.
Do you think that liberal women and conservative women there's like a difference in quality?
Yeah, I think that there are several different kinds of difference in quality. I think that conservative women are more likely to be well behaved. Like, I think that liberal women run in groups where their independence, like they call it independence, is promoted, and it's bad behavior that's promoted. Conservative women are not exposed to like polyamory is smart and makes you cool.
Okay.
They don't have those kinds of influences. The liberal ones have those influences, and they're affected by them. So, like, women being women, what you expose them to will affect their behavior, and the liberals are exposed to much worse stuff.
Only thing is, I think conservative women tend to be more bitchy.
Yeah, they're kind of a little bit more like HOA, kind of I'm in charge around here. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I haven't ever lived in a place with a lot of them. I've only ever been in blue areas, dated liberal women. They get kind of like that though. If you cross one of their moral boundaries, they kind of they get screechy. They start thought policing you out loud, like, they get upset and they totally transform and they go, "What did you say?"
I call that a crash out. I love crash outs.
Yeah. That's right. I heard about that. Yep, they crash out.
What do you think about, I have a pipeline for mids and hot women. Mm-hmm. So I always say that mids go to big cities and get humbled. Mm-hmm. So like they'll be the prettiest girl in like Kentucky, and then they go to Miami and then they just get passed.
Yeah.
And
you're just at Miami too.
Yeah. And then just go back to the Kentucky and then marry someone from their hometown. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. Yeah. I have seen, when I was living in the city, there were girls that would move from other places and they would mention, like they would say out loud, they would go like, "I am less attractive here." People do not treat me like as nice as they did back where I was. There was one that came from, I think, Detroit. And she was like, maybe I should just go back to Detroit. So yeah, I have noticed that. What do you mean by a pipeline? You mean like putting them in the places that work better for them?
Yeah, like it's usually, an example is like, if a girl's like a 7+, she'll probably go to a big school. So like, for example, there's like the Alabama to Florida pipeline where you go to Alabama as a school if you're 7+. Then you go to Miami or maybe LA. Then you get dug out. There's a couple women that do win. They find a husband in the city and graduate. But obviously there's more losers than winners. So then, they get dug out. Then boom, they go back. And then usually it's like the hot girls are like within the city, like the most exciting part of the city. And around here, I'm like an hour away from the city, and I went 30 minutes close to the city. And the whole bar, I shit you not, I went with Doug MPA, my co-host, and it was a single mother club.
What?
Yeah, it was like
so funny.
I swear, I was like, I can't even make this up. And it was like 30, and I realized, I'm like, so all the hot girls go to the city, and then like a bad decision takes them out of it. So like for them, it's like single motherhood. Now they're 30 minutes out and that's the best they can do, An hour out, you get even uglier. So a lot of guys, like they might think they're unattractive, but if they just lived where like the hot women are, like one would be bound to,
Yep. That's kind of what brings everyone to the cities. Like that's kind of, I don't want to be a downer, but like it makes me feel like that's why, like that's kind of why, that's the most black-pilled opinion I think I have, that people are always drawn to those high population density areas, and those are the ones being ruined the most by all the social degradation. You kind of can't go, like I have all these friends who are trying to escape and live out in the middle of nowhere, like in the Rockies, in the empty quarter. They're like, we're going to move out there and we're going to start a gym, and they get out there and there's like 5 girls that are above a 4, and they're like, you can't make this happen. We're not going to all marry the same girl. There isn't enough, because they all leave. All the girls who can get anything from anywhere leave those remote areas. So it's like impossible to move there unless you just want to die alone.
Yeah. And you can kind of see how hot a girl is by how big of a city, like she tends to pick.
Yeah.
Because if it's like LA, I rate LA, Vegas, Miami, New York, Scottsdale, Arizona as like the most beautiful women go there. Is there any city you think I missed?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think, like the first time that I ever went to Portland, I thought that they had hot girls there, but it was just a fluke. I just saw like sort of the same kind of girl too many times in one day. Miami, New York, Los Angeles, those are the big ones. No, I don't think you missed anything. Not that I know of.
Atlanta? No, I don't. I think Atlanta would be a tier 2. Like, because then that's like tier 1. Tier 2 is like Chicago, Portland, like big cities, but like they're not really known for hot girls, but just because they're so big, some of the hot girls.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Yeah.
They'll be there. I think New York and I don't know. It might be Miami. I know that New York is where I would be if it wasn't New York, if you know what I mean. Like if it didn't have New York rules in play, that's where I would go.
Yeah, you got all the models there.
Yeah, exactly. Fashion. There's also more men per woman, more women per man in New York. You've got the other way around on the West Coast, but New York is a good numbers game for men.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing about Atlanta.
Yeah.
Although you
yeah,
mess
East
around,
Coast and the West Coast
you
are
mess
kind of
around
like
there
that.
too much, you might get AIDS. There's like an AIDS epidemic there.
Yeah, Atlanta's I don't know. I haven't actually visited, but I've only heard rumors. But
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like a destination.
But yeah, and then I have like tier 2 cities, which are like, it's like tier 1, which are big cities, and then like mid-level cities like Philadelphia. I've heard there's pretty girls. Boston, which are like near a big city, but they're not quite. Usually the sevens go there, especially if they're used to being the hottest girl. They might go to New York for a year and they can't take it.
Exactly. Yeah, Boston is where you find like the upper mids who have really great jobs, and they have really expensive rent. It's kind of it's, I don't know, kind of a snottier city. I think Boston is. It's like they are more socially conscious there, if that's possible. Is it possible to be more socially conscious than New Yorkers?
What do you mean by socially conscious?
Like aware of status and aware of the importance of where you live and how you're dressed and, you know, what kind of music you listen to. And I'm listening to cello music. I'm more refined, you know, a little bit more like attached to the classiness of being in a city rather than just like, I'm doing it. I'm in the Big Apple. I don't know. It seems like a different vibe.
That was the biggest culture shock I had when I moved to England, because I was there for 3 years, was the people dress so much nicer. I would come back to America and people would be like, why are you dressed so fancy?
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. People just dress with bags here.
Yeah. Conservative women weaponize the concept of masculinity to gaslight men to do their bidding.
Yeah.
Do you think the current degradation of the nuclear family was intentionally socially engineered from those in power for a specific purpose, or a natural cycle from in the levels diagram from HM? Thanks.
I think that it's both. I think that people who study history properly can see these things coming. And when you see them coming, you can just nudge them. I don't think that you can take a thriving society and just say, like, we're going to make families fall apart. I'm just going to turn some knobs and make families fall apart, because you have the way that people move is like a river, and you can't just go against it. But when it starts going that way, I think you can influence it to go that way. There's just too much going on in politics that seems like exactly what you would want to do at exactly the right time to do it, to make these things happen. I can't think of any choices right now, but people make choices like, there's nothing that anyone can benefit from this. This is just going to make marriages fall apart and make there be more single mothers and fatherless children. And I think they know what they're doing. I think you can discern from just pattern recognition that they do know what they're doing.
Well,
what do you think?
Someone benefits from the money. I think they're all just trying to make money.
Yeah, it's power and control.
Yeah, I think it's just $8 or $2, you know, because I think men, you guys kind of go through life where you figure out much sooner, like we can just say whatever and we don't get in trouble. Everyone just says whatever, she's a girl. Do you know what I mean? Like there's even stuff I've said where I'm like, if a guy said that, his career would be over. And
for sure.
I just said it. And
got any examples?
Not ones that I'm trying to draw attention to right now.
All right.
Not ones that I'm trying to. But there's a couple instances where I could think of. I'm like, that was pretty dumb. But and even I was like I was trying to think about it. I'm like, do you know what? It's probably because men. I did that because men have a consequence earlier, where like if men just say what they think, there's an immediate consequence. Like they might lose their job, they might lose. And so at some point, I think the men just adapt the same way they become like cold hard players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The men, they just say, do you know what? Screw you guys. I'm going to make money and get by because it's too hard to go the other way. I have to deal with all these women nagging. I have to, women, you want to abort your kids? I'll be an abortion doctor. I'll be a nutritionist and just lie to you and say you're not fat. Do you know what I mean? Like they just.
I do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know. I just know exactly what you mean. It is way easier to go along. I've never been able to do it. It always makes me feel too bad to go along with whatever, I don't believe in or whatever I don't like. But, man, it solves a lot of problems. It really does. Like if people are making these choices, like opening up a casino, it's just such a great way to get a huge amount of money from people who are going to make bad choices anyway.
Yeah. All you got to do is
open the door.
I mean, people try to take credit for these plans or whatever. I'm sure some people had plans and like whatever, but to me, I just think everyone's trying to make money. They gave women bank accounts. It was over.
In the 80s, apparently, is what they're saying now.
He's right. That's why feminism didn't happen until the Industrial Revolution that enabled the nudge, and the tech revolution broke the dam. It's over.
Yeah. The tech revolution was a big one.
Rachel. Thanks for watching, Rachel. Have you done a collab with The Crucible?
I don't think I've collaborated with them. I chat with them. I think I chat to them in DMs, but I'd like to work with them.
Oh, cool. They should have you on.
That'd be great.
I want to read you the modern woman life cycle.
Great.
And then I think Doug MPA was going to come say hi too. He's a fan. Right. But I want to read this to you and I want you to see if you agree or disagree. So the modern woman life cycle. So modern women will go to a high-priced institution to get a degree that no one cares about, to put themselves in a whole bunch of debt that will burden them for the rest of their lives. All they learn in school is how to be disagreeable and how to use men. Number 2. Modern women will get a job that is too stressful and does not care about them. In reality, the job is not that hard or stressful, but the women will convince themselves that it is. Number 3, modern women will feel entitled to a certain type of lifestyle when they begin their careers and will buy houses and cars they can't afford or spend their money on travel while ignoring student debt. Modern women will wake up between the ages of 33 to 37 and rush to have kids, find a husband, or both. 5, modern women will hit their late 30s, early 40s, and try to get pregnant by either a loser or IVF. Modern women will start antidepressants and become alcoholics, and modern women will buy a dog or a cat and die alone. What do you think? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, I mean, just before college, there's the Disney cycle.
Okay.
That primes them. The Disney to Twilight pipeline.
Okay.
Which primes them for the expectations. And then, the going to college and getting the worthless degree that they think taught them something, and then getting the job that was one of the most frustrating experiences of my life. I used to work with this girl at a job where we had the exact same job title, and I got paid more than her. I worked there longer than her, and I had more experience. And then we both got laid off at the same time. And a couple years later, I matched her on Bumble, and she was getting $120,000 a year to be a women's leadership coordinator or something. And I was driving Uber. And that was what the market had for me and for her. That was not fun.
That happened to me in reverse.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was in sales. I walked in, they took away another guy's territory and gave it to me.
Wow.
I felt bad, but it was like nothing I can't be like, don't give me the
you can't say, right. Yeah. Yeah, it does happen a lot. And that's one of those things that's kind of like something that I would mention on X that guy was complaining about. I just point out stuff like that and people get upset about it. It's like, well, is it true though? All right. So, the Disney Twilight Pipeline, College, The Job, what was before antidepressants, and then the cat, and then it eats their eyeballs. Do you know about that?
Wait, what?
Have you heard about how the cat eats your eyeballs after you die?
Oh,
it's part of the meme. It's part of the meme that when you die alone, the cat eats your eyes because they're softer. It's just a gruesome add-on joke.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to put that in there, but I see where you're going with it. Just because it's gross.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a super chat I missed. Doug MPA, could you find it? Because there was a good amount this show, so I must have lost it. G-Throw says, oh, wait, here. Oh, here, I saw it. Hey, I studied for almost 10 years. Hey, I'm curious. I studied for almost 10 years, personalities, having met over 1,000 people close and random take the test, and I've come up with the conclusion personality and gender are two halves of the same coin. Know your gender, know your personality. You think that's true, not true?
I mean, there is definitely like personality variation within the sexes, if that's what he's talking about, or unless he's talking about gender in the woke sense, like if one of your 72 genders, in which case, no, I would not agree. But yeah, there are things about men and women that are extremely consistent that people just don't want to believe or deal with. Like just entire ways of perceiving things, like how men can look straight at something in the fridge and not see it because their eyes just work different.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Women perceive color more, and I think they're able to notice new things in their visual field, whereas men are looking for where the thing is supposed to be. So men will open the fridge and they'll look for where was the thing supposed to be, and they look at it and it's not there, and they go, where is it? And then the wife will go, it's directly next to it, because her eyes are scanning. So the vision works differently, hearing works differently, senses work differently, emotions work differently. Women are more sensitive to negative emotion, more neurotic. This is probably why the lesbian divorce rates are so high, because, you get a bad feeling and it's like, well, the bad feeling must be about whatever's in front of me right now. And then it's just two women spraying that at each other. So yeah, I mean, personality is hugely shaped by it, but I think there's quite a bit of variation in personality within the sexes also.
Can you expand on that a little more? Like, what do you think the biggest variations are in personality? Oh, you're going with this drawing.
Yeah, it's fun. The biggest variations in personality are, do you know about the Big Five?
Yeah.
Do you know any personality tests? Yeah. So you have the Big Five, which it's the only one that's validated by mainstream science, which I don't even know what that means. Okay. But those 5 traits can predict a lot about you and who you are and how you're likely to behave. And, there's a lot of variation between them. People tend to only have high openness or high conscientiousness, for example. And I think that women tend to be more open, men tend to be more conscientious. Women tend to be more neurotic. I'm not sure who tends to be more extroverted, but there are other personality tests that they are not scientifically validated, whatever that means. But I think that there's still some validity to them. There's the MBTI, which I think does a really good job of telling you what kind of job you would enjoy doing and therefore be good at because you like doing it, or be more likely to be good at because you like doing it. And then there's the Enneagram. That's a famous one. It's more like a spiritual thing. And that one is associated with the 7 deadly sins plus 2 more. And that one is based on what your personality type fears the most, and so what you go towards the most.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I spent a good amount of time learning that one. I didn't like the type I got, but I learned a lot about myself through it.
That happened to me too. I was like, this test is bullshit. Not that one, but the other one.
What, the Myers-Briggs?
The one, it was Jordan Peterson's test I took a long time ago, and I was pissed at my response.
What did you get that you didn't like?
I didn't like, I got low. It called me lazy. It was like, it called me low in like, I think it was conscientiousness.
Yeah.
And it said I was I didn't mind some of them. Like it said I was really high in extroversion, like 98th percentile. And I was like, that makes sense. I've always been like that. But oh my gosh. I just remember being pissed because it said I was lazy. And I'm like, I am not lazy.
Pearl,
no, you don't look lazy.
Pearl is far from lazy, I can tell you that. Hey, how's it going, you guys?
This is Doug MPA. He's my co-host most days, and he's a big fan. He wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hoemath, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm talking to Pearl, which is pretty fun. I knew of Pearl a few years before I started Homath, so it's like a little celebrity meeting. It's fun.
First off, I don't know what that guy was talking about. I follow you on X, and you're not a racist at all. I don't know what that guy's talking about. The new hashtag is called Black Fatigue.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Where people are just tired of it, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm black, and I'm tired of it, too. I don't see anything racist. I don't know what that guy's talking about.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about race, people will call you racist. I don't say anything negative about groups of people, but
they'll call white people racist, but not black people, unfortunately.
Right, exactly.
Because I hate the fact that white people, especially white men, are the root of all evil. I can't stand that. I have a lot of white male friends, successful, ambitious, competitive, but they can't say what's on their mind. I'm tired of it, man. I'm telling you, hashtag Black Fatigue. So the first time...
I got that in England, Doug.
What's that?
I got that after I got called a colonizer in England.
Oh, yeah. These views do not reflect Pearl at all. These are Doug NVA's views.
No, I'm tired too. Sorry.
That's so funny. You just went back to England to recolonize it.
So my favorite one of yours was you have a drawing that have all the women on one side. It's pink. It has a bunch of pink women on one side and a bunch of blue on the other side. And it has all the arrows. I have that saved on YouTube, and I've watched. Yes, there it is. Yep. There it is. Can you explain this? Because this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my entire life. You sum up the struggles of men so well with this. Can you go over that?
Well, I didn't invent the concept. This is something that I saw banging around the internet before I even understood it, because when when online dating started happening, I was really successful on it. And so I was like, well, I guess that probably is it. And I guess I'm here. But what I did with it, and I made a new version too. There's going to be a new version with like words, and it's going to look cleaner. What I did with it was I separated it into when society is working over here and when it's not. And
Pearl, have you seen this?
It takes a second to delay. It's hard to explain, but it's because the way we have it set up.
Go ahead, Hoemath.
If he keeps going, I'll see it in a second.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm on a delay. So the left side, I'll just point to it and say, the left side that says men and women over here closer to equal. This is when society is functioning, and what it shows is that these green lines are long-term stable connections. That's the keeper relationship. And in stable societies where people actually hang out with each other and get to know each other, people tend to get married to someone on their own level, and marriages happen a lot. There, of course, because humans are humans, you have these red and orange lines, which are the sweeper and sleeper relationships, where it's like the orange one is an ongoing affair and the red one is like a one-night mistake and we can never do this again. And of course they happen, but also the stable relationships are there. When we do not have a society that keeps us interacting with each other in a church or a school or a neighborhood or what have you, we move over to the social breakdown one, where when women are unfamiliar with men, their standards are way, way, way higher. When women know men, they get attraction, proximity attraction. But with men that they're unfamiliar with, they're all very, very, very picky. And where's my not people zone? Where'd he go?
That's my favorite part.
There he is. Yeah. About 80 to 90% of them are in the not people zone, where they just are like, excuse me, stop talking to me. What is it? What do you want? Do I need to put my shopping cart back? No, could I have your number? Like, it gets bad. So what happens is that now we have TV, people are staying home, cell phones, people are talking remotely, the dating apps, they all have 1,400 matches in their pocket at all times. There's more and more guys in the not people zone, and these guys have more and more options. Like, I remember being this guy for quite a few years, and I have memories that are they're like sad and embarrassing now, of meeting someone who was really a reasonable choice and just thinking of her as an option among many. And it's like, my life might have gone better if I wasn't able to make that decision, if I didn't have that kind of opportunity. Yeah. So these guys make those bad choices. These girls get their feelings hurt. And then these guys, want to burn it all down. And that all comes from just losing social integrity.
So one of the best quotes I've heard, and I don't remember who said it, was women rewrote the social contract, all the social contract in the 20th century, and men are, so in the 21st century is going to be men responding to it. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean, it goes in cycles. I don't know if you know What If Alt Hist, but I had a talk with him about this a while back. What If Alt Hist is like what if alternative history. So I spoke with him about this, and we have a cycle of a dead civilization rebuilding, hopefully getting a chance to learn. And then here I have a communist with a shirt that says, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to swear, free stuff. And then over here we have feminism versus patriarchy. And in the middle, like, you have to actually have balance. When men are too much in charge, they make certain mistakes and it gets too rigid. When women are too much in charge, they make certain mistakes and it gets too chaotic. And I'm pretty sure that you would rather have an extreme masculine order than an extreme feminine one, because everyone just dies. You just go back to the Stone Age. Yeah. And we talked about how they're just brainwashing to people to believe that all of history was just oppression of women, and then all of a sudden we got feminism and everything is good forever now, whereas in reality it alternates a lot. And
well, I use this example. So feminists have rewritten history, because I hear women say, well, back in the 50s and the 60s, men got to work. They got to work if women couldn't. You know that before the 80s, 50% of our economy was agricultural and manufacturing. How do you think the suburbs got built? See, women think that it was all like Mad Men and men were in suits and offices. No, men work hard, physically laborious jobs in factories 12 hours a day, 5 days a week for 30 years. Yeah. Okay? And women have fallen in love with this idea of working. And a lot of them, they go out there, they give their best years for childbearing years, and their best years for some job that can care less about them. And then they want out by the time they're 35.
Yeah, lawyers, like, they'll spend all that money and all that time getting to be a lawyer, they'll do it for a few years and go, I don't like it.
Or even CEOs. The average male CEO's career is 7 to 9 years. Average female CEO is 2 to 3 years. But these women claw their way to the top and say, yeah, no thanks. That's why we have a healthcare crisis. Over 52% of medical students are women, and over half of them are going to leave the career field when they have a kid or by the time they hit 45. I call it the great experiment. Women want to try on being a man, but they don't really want the smoke.
Yeah, they want... I made a really good tweet about that. I think it might be in my book. I'm about to release a tweet book. It was about how women want to be like men because they imagine that men just have great lives. They imagine that men just get up and have like a Turkish bathrobe handed to them, and They go to work and they put their feet up on a desk and smoke a cigar. They imagine that men have all these privileges with no responsibilities.
Agreed.
Yeah, and so they reach for this imaginary life that none of us actually have, because again, like this is why dating relates so much to politics and society. It's because they're imagining themselves equal to the men that they want to date. So they only look at the top men and they go, what do those guys have? I should have that. They don't want to be equal to the bottom 80% of men because those guys are miserable. So to answer your question directly, I would say that what we're looking at right now, I think you said in the 21st century, we're looking at a pretty high likelihood of a male backlash. What If Hoemath says this too. He has a video on it called The Coming Incel Uprising, I think. And yeah, all the signs are there. You know, men are just getting really sick of it and not participating anymore. So
would you call them, see, because uprising means that there's going to be some kind of action. Because here's the thing, a lot of feminists think that men hating women is the worst thing that could happen. And I don't think so. I think apathy is. I
suppose.
And that's why I think this is headed, because one of the best things I've heard was Greg Adams was on a podcast, and he was going off, he was cooking, right? And the producer was some 21-year-old girl, and he's like, well, don't you have a daughter? How dare you say all this stuff? What do you say to your daughter? He said, you know what? She's in her teens. I don't say anything, because anything I say to her, she's going to do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to make her mistakes, and when she makes enough mistakes, she's going to have to come to her dad, and then she's going to listen. And that's what's going to happen with women. Men are going to have to disengage. And women are going to have to make enough mistakes and then come back, and that's what happened.
Yep. Yeah, and it's happened over and over again. I keep forgetting to memorize or at least write down where and when it happened, but I believe that happened in the Arab world, and that is why Islam is so viciously controlling of women, because they like this happened to them really, really bad. The women said, we want to be lawyers and we want to participate in everything. And, they got overrun by barbarians. It's just exactly the same thing that's happening here. They give up on everything. They get overrun, everything gets destroyed. They have a really bad time. And then whoever remains after that, they say, well, we can never do that again. So now we're going to make a religion where you have to wear a bag on your head all the time. And it survives to this day. So yeah, we'll see how bad we have it. We've got a lot of modern conveniences to help us through it, but that could be used against us too. It's just too much to predict,
Do you think that there's going to be like a tipping point where women are going to have to start saying that the great experiment isn't working? Maybe working all these hours and having IVF and stuff is going to work. What is it going to take, do you think?
The tipping point is going to be there's going to be a critical mass of millennial women who wake up one day and realize there is no chance. I am not finding the dream man. I'm not having kids. I'm 48. I have to stop dreaming about IVF. There's no getting back the time that I lost. I think that I'm just remembering all the women my age that I dated when I was in my 20s, and how I really, there were a lot of them that I just wanted to keep, and they were playing these games and they wanted to have fun, and I'm just wondering what's going to happen in a few years when there's absolutely no ability that they have left to pretend that they still have years. I think that's what's going to be a critical mass of women who can no longer lie to themselves.
Okay, so then once that happens, because my biggest thing with that is that even if you said millennial women, because that means that Gen Z would be after that. And do you think, I don't think that even when those women hit that, they're not going to take much accountability, and then they're still not going to teach their daughters after that not to do what they did.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take accountability. I think that when they get to that point where they know that they're never going to get the dream, they're probably going to act out in some way. They might politically organize and vote for the wrong thing on purpose. They might withdraw from work. There might be some kind of collective, because women are so good at collectivizing, and now they have TikTok too. It could be like the 4B thing. Do you know 4B?
Yeah, it's in Korea.
Yeah,
What a joke.
they could do that. Yeah, I know, it's so ridiculous, but it should be something like that. I think that when they get to that age where they cannot still lie to themselves and say that there's time, they'll probably blame it on men, just like they're doing already, and come up with some retaliation that will be just too much to tolerate.
Pro says that there's going to be a large increase in female crime. And I would agree with that, because here's the thing. One thing, let me know what you think about this. Sure. The next 20, 30 years, especially when you see women in more positions of power, acquiring more, is this automatic assumption that women are morally superior because they're women. That's going to go away, because women are going to abuse power just like men, if not more so.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to see more women politicians making bad decisions. You can see more women doing fraud, all this different stuff. And it's really going to hurt society, because once again, we keep giving them the benefit of the doubt because they are women.
Yeah. That is something that I was talking to Pearl about that a little bit earlier. That is something that's built into the subconscious. It's built into the human subconscious. When we look at women, we just go, oh, pretty, cute, protect. And that's like a visceral, it's like a deep bodily reaction. The way that women have been behaving over the past few years, like the whole believe all women thing, and all the ridiculous accusations and everything came out, that should have been enough to trip something, but people just want to view women as innocent. But I think that there might be something that overcomes that. There might be some series of events that happens that overcomes even the urge to view women as blameless.
Why do you think? Because on Pro's channel over here, we always say that women can't stand each other. They really can't. You know, that 50% of women polls say that they'd rather work for a male boss than a female boss.
Yep.
Right. 80% of workplace bullying is women bullying other women.
Yep.
You're talking about the consciousness of the brain. Why can't women stand each other, Homath? Why?
Because I got a chart for that too. Because
let's go.
Because women know women because they are women, and they know the tricks that they have to play. And so they know the tricks that other women are going to play. So even when women are being nice to each other, it can be mean, or it can appear mean. This chart, I don't know if it's still on a delay, but it's called Who is a 10 Status Games. It shows how men behave openly and form hierarchies, and they just go, I'm the top dog. My dad knows a congressman. I'll kick your ass, you know. But women have to say, oh, you're a 10. No, you're a 10. No, everyone's beautiful. And they never say that you're a 10 to the 8s, 9s, and 10s, but they do have to say it back, or else they cannot be in the little hand-holding club where everybody is equal. So women have to play this equality and fairness game. And that is because they just can't physically get in fights with each other. They can't manage their conflicts physically like men can. Jordan Peterson talks about this. I can't remember where, but he's got a good clip about how when men are having social conflict, there's always a threat of you might get punched in the face. That is lacking from the female psyche. They rely on other people to do that for them. That's why they say the woman's weapon is poison. They do their violence in secret, and they do it with lies. This is a false accusation right here. He hurt me, even though he didn't.
I would take that, but I would also caveat, remember, 75% of abuse towards elderly and children is women.
Yep.
75%. This is physical, mental, emotional abuse. And I honestly believe that the only reason why women aren't more abusive is because they don't have the physical strength of men. If they did, we'd be screwed.
I wish women would be more abusive, because like no, seriously, because I think if I got into a fight, I think I would win. So
I think you'd win a good number. Aren't you like 6'2"?
Yeah, I'm like, I hope, I'd prefer to just throw hands over the verbal stuff.
You should. That'd be great. Get it on video.
No, but then they'll just press chart. It'll never end.
I know that you can't. You can't handle things like a. There's just so many. Living in a nanny state is so disgusting. There's so many conflicts I've had that should have been solved that way, and I just knew I couldn't. I just knew I had to just go, I'll be the bigger man, walk away. But it just doesn't work out. Like, it doesn't work well that way. There are people who do things that should be taught lessons, but can't.
So I guess I have one last question. Let's say you have a man who's 26 years old. No, let's say he's 28, just graduated law school. Right? So he has undergrad, law school, and he's like, Hoemath, help me with my path in life. What should I do? What would you recommend? What would be your life advice for him?
Well, in this case, what I do is I usually hand out a questionnaire. I have a 15-question questionnaire, and I ask, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? What are your favorite things, least favorite things? What are the biggest good things and bad things that have happened to you in your life recently and ever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I have just a comprehensive list of questions to get to know who this person is and what they want. I have this, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, I have this service called SelfMax, and I have this map for it right here. And basically, it uses AI to guide you through. Basically, you tell the computer what you want, and then it guides you through how you should think about it, and then what actions you're taking, what results you get back from it, and then how you can learn from them. So it guides you in a cycle. So you keep thinking about what you want and trying to go get it, seeing how it works, changing your course, and it helps you grow and learn as a person. This is something that I made to go along with the life coaching that I used to do. It's kind of replaced the life coaching. I haven't done that in a while. I want to, but I haven't done it in a while. So it would be a really, really long conversation. So you said he was 26, just got out of law school, wants to know what to do?
28. Just graduated law school. Okay. And I'll add another caveat. He was in a college town, but he's moving to a tier 1 city. So let's say he's moving to, let's say he's moving to New York City. So let's say he went to like a university of like Vermont, like a Burlington, University of Vermont kind of Burlington, or kind of a 50, 60,000 city that has a major university, and now he's moving to New York City.
Okay. I would say the first thing that you need to do is get a really good idea of why you're going to New York City and what you want to find there. What do you want to come out of your life in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years? How much of that do you know? Figure that out. If you don't know it, here I have an exercise here called life storming. It's like brainstorming, but for your whole life. I would say, here's an exercise to figure that out. Once you know what it is that you're doing, figure out where it's going to come from in the city, or if you have to leave the city. Like I lived in New York City once. I had to leave pretty quick because I could not find much of the stuff that I wanted there.
I would imagine. Yikes.
Yeah. So you got to know if you want to be married, if you want to have kids, if you want to live in the mountains, if you want to live in a penthouse. Like you have to know those things as early as possible. And of course they can always change, but you have to know what you're going towards. Like don't just go to the city and cross your fingers. That would be my first piece of advice.
Okay. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Now, do you ask things in the context of like, you need to have definitive answers, or do you ask him yes or no questions to kind of force him to start on that path of making
the session? I would just like walk them through, what is it that you're feeling? What is it that you want? What's getting in your way? And the best way to spend time in a session is I knock those things loose. So people just are not paying attention to how they're not thinking correctly. And I can just kind of untwist those wires, and then they can go figure out what it is they want in their own time. But, yeah, I wouldn't like sit with somebody until they say what they want. I would just give them the exercises and like do your journaling and make sure you write it down. Make sure that you know that you want to go towards it. Make sure that once you try it, if you don't like it or if it doesn't work, you feel comfortable replacing it. Yeah, it would be more about the structure of it than actually getting to do it in the session. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Awesome. I know.
That's awesome. Sorry, the mic, we had like a rainstorm mid this. I was kind of muting and unmuting because it was messing with the audio.
I didn't notice halfway through.
Yeah, cool. Homath, thank you. I've been a big fan for years. When she said that you were coming on the show, couldn't wait because you found your own lane on YouTube. Your work is fantastic, man. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and you're especially winning because your face isn't even out there.
I know.
That's
I'm
awesome.
loving it.
See, I'm
So much
a
fun.
woman. I didn't think about Doug MPA says to me all the time. He's like, you're really brave for putting your face out there. And I'm like, Doug MPA, I didn't think about it.
Yeah. What happens to you? What's the worst that you get?
Well, I was demonetized for 1.5 years, so I was basically unemployed.
But why does it have to do with your face?
Oh, you mean like, well, it would be tough to get another job.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because
the whale attack happened. Remember the whale attack?
I forgot that happened. Yeah. There was a woman who tried to attack me on the streets. I get screamed at on occasion, but that's not too much. Like one time
I've gotten a few email threats, so I don't know how much that would become real.
No, I meant like in public. Like I was on the street in Atlanta and some guy just started screaming at me in the middle of the street. It was so weird.
That's fun. It's not how you want to get recognized.
Well, I mean, I'd say it's mostly like positive. Like, and if it's negative, like sometimes there'll be people that'll pretend they're fans and they'll go online and be like, I saw Pearl, she was so this or that. You know what I mean? But it's not like most people aren't going to directly say so. But But it is like if I was to go back into the workforce, which I did have to think about at one point. So, I was just like the employable thing.
Yeah. That's so funny. I'm just trying to stack enough money so that if I ever have to, I can just like eat ramen noodles for 20 years.
Yeah.
Get a homestead out in the woods and cook your cans of tuna and your cans of dog food like Mad Max.
Hobo beans.
Yeah.
Hobo beans, exactly.
Just know the guidelines. If they gave you a rep, make sure you're working with them to really know the guidelines because
if they give me a rep?
Like a rep from YouTube. Sometimes you get a direct rep. It's like once your account hits a certain point, you can directly communicate with them.
Okay.
So,
I'll have to look into that. Yeah. I haven't gotten any strikes or anything though.
Yeah, that's you're pretty. I can't foresee that happening to you, but especially with the current administration.
Yeah. I'm careful. I'm a good boy. Sometimes, most of the time.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. I had so much fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah. It was really fun talking to you. I was looking forward to that. I actually was wondering if one day I would talk to Pearl before I ever started Hoemath, and so I got to. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we do
I had a blast.
We do call-in shows. So if you ever see a topic and you think it applies, feel free to call in on any topic. We love having recurring guests. So.
All right. Yeah, that sounds great.
Like Friday is HIV and herpes. So if you know anyone with that, call and tell the story.
All right, I'll get a panel together.
We won't ask you how you know. Just go ahead and share stories.
Yeah. Okay. Well, where can the people find you and support your work?
So you can find me. You can just type in HOE_MATH on any of the social medias. That's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I am It Is Hoemath on X. And I have a link tree, which you can find. It's the only link I have on any of these. It's linkter.ee/HOE_MATH. And I have all kinds of stuff. You can buy merch and charts and coffee table book with all my fun drawings and the Self-Max service and lots of, I'm into lots of stuff and it's all great. So check it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody, make sure you go check out his work. Don't be cheap. Go buy a chart or something. You know what I mean? As a thank you for coming. Let me see if there's any super chats left. Did I miss any, Doug MPA? Were there more?
Yeah,
I was dealing with the audio issue for a second. Well, I was like, do I mute? Do I not mute?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Okay. It's not refreshing on this one. I don't know why. Oh, here we go. All right, we got. Let me refresh this. Oh, here we go. Okay. If we create greater stigma by showing the successful families, I think they'll do what they always do, make it a trend and basically make dating average guys fashionable, simply to gloat to the single moms with 3 baby daddies. I don't see that happening at all. I don't, but
Yeah.
Do you see it happening?
If there was a way to do it, that's how it would work. Like, women are really strongly motivated to fit in and do the thing and, be in the group. If we could make it fashionable, like if we could somehow praise families and mothers and make it like, popular to be a mom, more women would do it. I don't know how.
Nothing is more important to modern women than their own selfish desires, dude.
Yeah.
I think
nothing.
It'll be too lazy. It's just that's my prediction. But maybe I'm more black-pilled than you.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying. I just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they believe all men have Ashton Hall mornings. Okay. Jethro, the gender doesn't matter. You either extrovert or introvert is the main influence. Extrovert gets charged up. Introvert gets charged down around people. Do you think that's true or not true?
What about extrovert and introvert, or that it doesn't relate to gender, sex?
I would say both. I just read what he said.
Well, what he said about introverts and extroverts was true. That is what that means. But I don't know if there's actually any difference, if there's any consistency of which sex is more or less. I can't remember.
Well, don't we say like 80 more words a day or something like that?
Women? Yeah, I think so.
You also have to be careful of, I have a sibling who's an introvert, and she's been an introvert her entire life. So I know what an actual introvert is, but people are lazy, especially women. So women use introvertedness as a mask to be lazy and not reciprocate what's necessary for dating or friendship. So guys, be careful if a woman says, oh, I'm an introvert. It means don't call me, I'll call you, wait by the phone.
Yeah, and autistic too. Some of them say they're autistic when they mean I lack social skills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know, they call everybody autistic these days.
Yeah.
Even when you said it earlier, I was like, come on, the real autistic guys do you know what I mean? They're the ones that can barely talk. They call everyone.
Yeah, they're not. The real autistic guys are not communicating with people. Yeah. I think when they say autistic, what they mean is just like doing more than me in a way that I find irritating. People will look at my charts and they'll say that they're autistic, and it's like, you just couldn't do that. I think that's what you mean.
Yeah. Or remember, people want you to obey their rules socially, or like in a space or in a conversation. So it's a way for them to get you to obey their rules. Okay, so I need you to communicate in a way that's safe for me, but not for you because I'm autistic.
Yeah,
it's just laziness.
The frame. Yeah.
It's laziness. Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree. Well, thank you guys so much for being on today. I really enjoyed the conversation. Feel free to call in anytime when we do shows. We'd love to have you back.
I'll come out. We'll come back.
Sure. Like the video, guys, on your way out. Subscribe.